Hello guys, today I have prepared a presentation about analysis for resistant non against Openjams for entities, for the population against GTO frequencies. Before we have a look on the numbers, I want to briefly explain how I have calculated those frequencies of the population. First of all, I have built the stats in Hand2Note. Then I have added my custom profile, which is available in the HUDs, but also in the MDA Preflop pop-up. And then I simply have calculated range research analysis for several population types, which I have summarized for several VPIP and preflop raise frequencies of certain player groups which I think are existing in nowadays games. And yeah, I simply added the certain frequencies of the population into a table and compared those frequencies with GTO frequencies powered by Preflop Academy. Alright, let's dive into the numbers. First population group is a NIT. So this population is playing less than 17% of VPIP and less than 12% of preflop raise. And yeah, here you can see the overall GTO frequencies for raise first in non against, for 15 big blinds effective, which are in the normal background. So for early position, the GTO frequency is 15.1%, which are 200 combos total. For MP, it is 15.6% with 207 combos. For hijack, 16.7% with 221 combos. Almost the same for the cutoff. For the button, it is 18.3% of hands with 242 combinations. And for the small blind, there's a mixed strategy as well with 10.4% of raise first in, which are 137 combos. And below that, in the orange highlighted background here, there are the Openjam frequencies with the combinations. So the target goal is to compare raise first in all in with Openjams, so raise first in all in, and yeah, compare GTO with population. So as you can see already, overall this player here is in any spot too tight. Let's have a look on the second population type, which is the second NIT, which is a bit looser but still way too tight, as you can see on those frequencies here. And yeah, let's have a look on somewhat raggish population type, but still on the tighter side. So this rag here is having a VPIP between 19 to 24% and a preflop raise of 14 to 16%. And as you can see, yeah, this opponent is still on the tighter side for the early stack sizes, but it seems that on the later positions this player group is getting looser. And yeah, I have done the work with several other population types, as you can see here. And yeah, here is a comparison for every population type of this presentation here. So in total we have 7 population types, and now we want a general look for all race first in not all in scenarios from early position 2 to small blind. And if a certain population type is simply too tight or tighter as GTO recommends, the color is highlighted with a red background. And if the player is too loose, so playing much or more hands as GTO suppose, the background is in green color. So if we have an overall look on this table here, you can easily see that all of those 7 population types is simply way too tight for race first and not all in from early position 2 to middle position and almost in the hijack. As you can see here, this rec group here is almost nailing those GTO frequency here. Same with this kind of loose aggressive rec. But the recs in between are Openraising, Norlin, loser. And yeah, beginning from the cutoff, only the nits are really tighter as GTO, but the common rec groups are starting off getting way too loose here. So yeah, you can even see an increase by roughly 20 to 30% here compared to the GTO frequency. And the same applies for the button, and it looks like it's even increasing those percentage. As you can see on the 30 here. And yeah, it looks like it's the same for the small blind. So it's insanely high Openjams from the small blind compared to GTO. You can even see that it's over 100%, so almost 2.2x here as the GTO recommends. So this player is simply openjamming way too much hands here and probably misses some inducing, and yeah, kind of overplaying some hands. Right, now let's have a look how it looks like for the Openjam strategies. So as you can see here, kind of funny because everyone here is openjamming way too loose. In the GTO world, there is no real Openjam range from early position +2. But as you can see, everyone is having an Openjam strategy here. the same for MP, so the GTO Openjam frequency here is only 1.5% of hands, and as you can see it's almost 50 to 100% more of hands. But on the other hand, for the hijack to button, the population is really too tight here. So in case you are facing an Openjam from hijack to button, in this video you can learn that you have to overfold tremendously when you are in a position behind. So assuming we are in the big blind and we have a button Openjam where we can expect almost 20% of hand range. In real world, this hand range is almost the half. So compared to GTO, it's 25 to 50% on average tighter. So I would really consider to overfold some hands here against those positions, because yeah, of course in GTO worlds it's a call, but against the population types it's a clear fold. So definitely a minus EV decision. And yeah, 1 second. So I have calculated the response against the GTO Openjam from the hijack for 15 big blinds effective. As you can see, this is our calling range from the big blind against the 6.8% of range from the hijack. But yeah, as we already have seen before, the hijack is slightly open jamming to less of hands. So I have recalculated this sim here and have dropped the hijack open jam range from 6.8% of hands here to 5% of hands. So what I have done here is I have compared the EVs in the Preflop Academy range editor and have left quite marginal and indifferent hands of the EVs. So I really have excluded some hands which can be missed from the population types. Yeah, and as you can see, the new range of the population against the somewhat tighter hijack range from the population gets somewhat decreased. So the big blind range drops from 14% to 13.4%. And yeah, as you can see, some hands which were profitable before turn into minus EV hands. Same for King 10 suited, Ace 4 suited becomes a higher EV, but it's still minus EV. and we can see a small increase of a hand combination, which is the pocket threes, which has an increase from minus 0.11% to plus 0.23%. And yeah, as you can see, the overall AVs from the nuts hands, so queens plus and his king, even his queen, kinda increased here. And yeah, I would definitely go with this range here and not with this GTO range here. And maybe even consider somewhat tighter, like I would definitely fold deuces here, ace 4 suited of course, and maybe I would even exclude ace 6 suited, ace 5 suited, and would really consider if my edge on the table is enough to call pocket threes off here. So I would definitely fold those hands here and consider pocket threes. Alright, let's summarize what we have seen and learned here. So for the resource anomaly, we know that the early position and middle position and even hijack open razor is overall more on the tighter side, whereas the late positions from cutoff to small blind are way too loose. So I would recommend to rejam tighter and defend less against early position to hijack, but rejam looser and kinda trap more against the late positions, because yeah, with our nut hands we gonna over realize our equity anyways, and if the player is having a too loose range here, in my opinion, this is either meaning that his raise call range is on or too loose, so our rejams get paid out more. But on the other hand, if he is designing his raise call range more on the tighter side, because maybe he is assuming that the population is rejamming too tight, so probably his raise fold gap increases. So yeah, if we have this read over this player, I would mainly have a look on his fold against 3-bets. Then I would consider trapping more, because if we rejam against this loose range with the higher raise fold gap, of course we gonna take those folds, and this is already auto profit. But yeah, I guess the EV is tremendously higher when we allow the player to keep firing his bluffs and air hands. And yeah, let's have a look on our conclusions for the Openjams. So overall, the population is playing an Openjam strategy from early possession, which is not really existing in the GTO world. So yeah, you can see 100 to 200% of an increase of a range here, The same applies kind of for the middle position Openjams. So you're gonna see twice X Openjams as the GTO recommends here. But on the other hand, from the late positions, including the hijack, the population types are simply two less Openjams from hijack cutoff and button, and even more blind for the tight knit population types. So before we have seen that almost any population type is too loose from those positions for the Openraise non-all-in, but Openjamming too tight. So in combination with this, I would simply think that the racefold gap is simply too high here, because I really don't think that the population types against the population type is rejamming enough that he can deviate from the GTO strategy from race first in all-in, non-all-in and Openjams by a loser race first in non-all-in inducing range. So yeah, I kinda think the overall guys are too loose and simply folding too much against 3-bets or rejams. But one really important thing here, we have seen that accepting against the NIT opponents, almost any population type is simply Openjamming way too much from the small blind. So we can see 25 to 60% of too much hand combinations here, which you have to keep in mind to call off loser from the big blind. Because of course the small blind Openjam range is weaker when it's getting looser. So yeah, definitely call a rider here. And last but not least, I want to thanks for the watching. In case you have some strategies or product questions or approach questions, I'm happy to answer your questions. Feel free to write me on Discord, preferably on email or on Instagram. In case you liked one of our products here, you can use this first purchase discount for my website, and since almost all of my products are based on Hand2Note, you can use a Hand2Note 10% discount subscription with the code Reads Enhancer, so simply my name of the company. And yeah, especially I want to thank Preflop Academy for providing me the GTO frequencies and the ranges. So in case you are interested in some other GTO frequencies and ranges, definitely check out Preflop Academy. And yeah, definitely work on your game. As you can see, it's not really that hard to spot deviation from the population. I'm definitely sure it's kinda of an advanced skill level, but still kinda basic, so yeah. Don't interpret too much in this video. And yeah, good luck on the tables.